This episode is dedicated to the very basics of palmistry, or more precisely, to the basics about the lifeline on your dominant, usually right hand. This information should be good enough for you to at least roughly determine what kind of life is currently ahead of you. I say, currently, because your whole life, therefore, your lifeline, and everything else on your hand, can be, and should be, changed with your good work. By your good work, I mean on three major things. The first one, if necessary, is enduring periods of working harder than normal for modest results. If your manifesting works hardly, or doesn't even work at all, no matter what you try, if you find yourself more hard-working but less fortunate than others, and if you pretty much always need to work harder than others for any results, this most likely means that you have a certain bad karma in this life, for the wrongdoing that you did in your previous life, when you were a younger, less mature soul and probably entirely different person, than you are now. And if you mean to wash that bad karma, you simply need to endure some injustice on your back. The second thing is, the real work on yourself. This means seeing yourself as you really are, one of your top priorities, right there with, for example, survival and health. Striving to see all things as they are, instead of just striving to see yourself as you are, would be even better. And being serious about your new, better priorities, would be a must. And then, you need to proceed to work on changing or bettering yourself, by working self-analytically and self-critically on your inner attitudes. And no matter how good you may be or you may become, you should always strive to get better. Our maturing and growing is pretty much the main reason why we live lives over and over again, so the universe highly appreciates our self-initiative, real, work on ourselves. The third thing is, becoming and being not just the right person, but also the good person as well, who wants to help others selflessly without expecting anything from them in return. Helping others can be a really powerful thing when it comes to washing your karma and bettering your life. So keep in mind that, no matter how bad your current life is, and no matter how bad your lifeline may currently be, you still have the power to make enormous changes, you still have the possibility to change your future with your good work. And now, let's see some basics regarding the lifeline on your dominant hand. This would be, I would say, the ideal lifeline. When the shape is clean, curved, and long, like this, and when the line has the optimal thickness and color, this should mean that you have little to none bad karma. This should mean a long life, longer than 90 years. And this should mean that nothing bad will come even close to happening to you, as long as you are responsible enough. This should mean that you are free from any serious difficulties, and that you can live life according to your real potential. So you should always have a lot of energy, high vitality, good health, good enough material situation, and good enough circumstances. Having the second lifeline as well, parallel with your major lifeline, should be even better, at least when it comes to energy and vitality, but those cases are rare. If your ideal line is disconnected like this in a certain time, that should mean change in your lifestyle, which doesn't necessarily mean either good or bad. For more details on that moment in your life, you should consult other lines on your dominant hand as well. Don't confuse this case with another case, when the lifeline is paused. This pause on the lifeline means major issues during that time, usually related to your health. You may even be close to death at times, but, if you don't surrender, and if you do what you are supposed to do in those situations, there is no reason to fear. You will survive, and your situation will improve when this pause ends. Also, in case of the short lifeline, the lifeline and doesn't necessarily mean the early death. It can mean the beginning of health issues. Life length can be difficult to predict in that case. Other deviations from the ideal lifeline, like different shape, or wavy path, or very thin or very thick line, and so on, in most of the cases aren't as bad as the lifeline with the pause, or as the short lifeline, but they are certainly not as good as the ideal lifeline. Stronger the deviations are, the worse that lifeline is. Now let's see the secondary lines on the lifeline. Stronger, longer, and straighter they are, their weight and importance in your life would be higher, and their influence would be more straightforward. Upward outside branches, or the lines directed towards one of the 4 mounts on your palm, are the signs of some kind of improvement in your life. It can be anything from overall happiness to improved finances. Lines that intersect your lifeline would be the stress lines, which is not good, but the good thing is that you will be able to recover after their impact. Branches on the inside, and usually downwards, are not good signs, but they shouldn't be anything majorly bad or terrible. And the downward outside branches are probably the worst. They mean some kind of losses, no matter if they are related to your health, or to your finances, or to anything else. On the other hand, some people say that those lines may be the signs of travel in some cases. Besides secondary lines, there are also a lot of various marks on the lifeline. There are also some significant marks outside of the lifeline as well, on other locations on the palm. I'll just cover the most basic marks on the lifeline. The triangle should be a great sign, and it can mean lots of different good things. The square or the rectangle should mean that you will be protected in case that some danger or a bad thing occurs. And the circle should mean that something bad will happen, and that you will probably be temporarily hospitalized. I think all of this basic info should be good enough for you to navigate through your life better, and to maybe be more motivated to change your current life, and also your future, for better. And if you want more details on your life, or on palmistry in general, there are a lot of free info available on the internet. That would be all for this episode. Thanks for watching, and have a pleasant day.